As a leader, no job is more important than hiring the best people. When you have the right people on your team, the organization is more successful and just healthier. Without the right team members, well, we all know it can be a pretty miserable experience. And maybe you've experienced that firsthand. Studies have shown that executives typically hit on about 50% of their hires. In other words, given the opportunity again, they would hire differently. So about 1 out of 2, okay? Now I've been hiring people for many, many years. I've hired hundreds of people through my many years of leadership. And again, every hiring mistake, it's pain involved in that. And every time you make a mishire, you want to say, what could I have done differently? So when I miss on someone, I'm going to analyze and evaluate, how could I have done that better? So I tend to hire slow and go to great lengths to ensure that my hit rate is much better than 50%. And typically my hit rate's a little bit over 80%. So 8 out of 10 times I'm going to make a hire I want to keep. So I want to share with you one of the pieces in having a higher hit rate is asking good interview questions. And I've got a list of those, but I'm going to share with you my top 5 interview questions. So the first thing I want to ask the person I'm interviewing is, walk me through your schedule for a typical week. Now what I do with this question, it really gives me a feeling of their busyness versus productivity. Because sometimes people can share with me and it seems like they're just crazy busy, but are they really focusing on the things to help you to be ultra productive? So that's question 1. The second one I like to ask is, what are your top 3 goals or priorities for the year? Now I call them goals, some people call them priorities, so I'll say goals or priorities. Now this question gives me a strong indicator, are they goal oriented? If they don't have goals, what are they aiming toward? What's their target? And my third question is this, tell me about one of your biggest failures in the last 12 or 18 months. And then I want to ask them, what did you learn from that experience? Now this question shows me how they handle failure, if they are truly, and are they truly learners, right? And if they say, I can't really think of anything I failed at, 1 or 2 things, either they're a liar or they're not trying big stuff. Because listen, I can think of failures, but I'm trying big things, moonshots, if you will, but I also want to know, what did you learn from that experience? Here's my 4th question. What would your present or past supervisor say is your biggest weakness? Now this question gives me insight not only into their weakness, but also their self-awareness and humility. And then my 5th question is, what are 3 reasons I should hire you and 1 reason why I shouldn't? This is always an interesting one, but it tells me a little bit about, do they have confidence and do they have familiarity with the open position? Did they do their research? Did they study a little bit, or did they just come in there and just wing it? Here's another interview. I want to know that they studied our organization, and this question will allow me to say, did they take the time to study? But it also shows me a level of confidence in their ability. So that's an important question. Now I've got a bonus question for you that I'd add to my collection. It's this. Are there any issues or challenges or concerns I should know about? I've added this question as the last question I asked over the years because I've run into things where I've hired somebody and I find out things later. I wish I would have asked this question. They may not always tell me. And listen, we all have issues and challenges we deal with in life, but I would much rather or prefer to know ahead of time, what is the challenges? What are the challenges, if you will, if I bring someone new? Therefore, it helps me to have insight in how I can best coach them. So I have a very comprehensive process of hiring team members. Asking the right interview questions is just one aspect of the hiring process and getting great people on your team. Now, if you would like help in this area, send me an email requesting my Hiring the Best checklist. So it's a checklist that kind of works you through a process to make sure you hire the best people. Well, listen, I hope this helped you. Until next time, live well and lead well.